Well, hello guys, welcome back. So keep in mind, I don't speak for the gods at all, ever. But Odin and I have an interesting deal going on, and he was like, "Oh, by all means, dear, tell them. If he can get me, and here goes all my subscribers, if he can actually get me wolf or bear pelt, he can have it." I said, "I can't afford that, but if you can get me a wolf pelt, if you can get me a bear pelt, you can have it." I said, quite honestly, I wouldn't know the difference between it in a photo looking at a wolf pelt or looking at some kind of common animal fur. I said, you could end up with marten or whatever, like some kind of scrubby animal on your altar, and it wouldn't be wolf at all. And I'd be like, don't you love your wolf fur? And he wouldn't know how to tell me. I said, if you let me go out and buy it, I could come back with raccoon and think it's wolf fur. I said, you will have to do this on your own, and you will have to get, a wolf pelt. And I said, I really don't have an issue with it. When I was a little girl, my parents got me the most gorgeous rabbit coat you could have ever seen. It was gorgeous. And I would pet this thing. I had to be kindergarten, first grade, something. I would pet it like it was a little rabbit. I still remember petting my little rabbit. It was my little rabbit and it was alive and I would talk to it. There's nothing wrong with me. I was 4 or 5. Um, and some other kid didn't like it, didn't like me wearing fur, so they ruined it for me. They put gum and stuff in it. So that happened. And then, I remember getting stuff when I first got into, Wicca and paganism and that. And, back in the day before everybody screened cultural appropriations, you would do First Nation stuff. And I never talk about it because I don't want people lighting me on fire. But you would get the pelt of the animal. It was considered sacred to the path working, essential to the path working. If you wanted to work with cougar, yeah, I know so many people are going to blow up my inbox. But if you wanted to work with cougar, you got cougar pelt. If you wanted to work with wolf, you got wolf pelt. If you wanted to work with bobcat, lynx, so on. And for a while, I had that, and you would kind of feel results from it. I had bobcat, lynx, something, and then people guilt you. Stuff started to change, and not only was path working for non-natives taken away from everyone else, and it wasn't First Nations people, it was busybody white people as usual. I can say that. Today I can. God's today Italians are included. Tomorrow not so much. Anyhow, when you would practice that, you would have to have these animal parts. It was sacred and essential to the path working, okay? And it was open at one time to everybody, and then white people ruined it like they ruined everything because they were policing every other white person and every person on the world's belief system. I wish I'd grown up in the South with hoodoos because then I would have had easier access to stuff, but it didn't. So anyhow, ended up doing a ceremony, getting rid of all that stuff, and I had wolf totem stuff and everything else. And the wolf totem was a little Kachina doll and with just a little bit of fur. It could have been fake fur for all I know. I couldn't tell you wolf fur from anything else. And I had a ceremony for that, and I went through a period where because people guilted me into it, and honestly, it wasn't so much guilted me into it. It was for health reasons. People swore up, down, sideways I went vegan. And then you have no animal products. I said, I really don't have an ethical problem with fur or working with fur. I said, as I come out of that, truly came out of that vegan brainwashing, and I missed meat, knew I missed meat. I said, I don't have a problem with fur. I wouldn't have a problem if he wanted a wolf or a bear pelt. I said, I wish I had known it was Odin always with me decades ago, because as I was going for bobcat, I felt I should really have gotten the wolf. I really should have gotten the wolf, and they had beautiful wolf pelts. But I went with the cat because I was more of a cat person, so it was probably Freya calling me. But I was like definitely more of the cat person, and I wanted the cat. I actually wanted cougar. They didn't have it. They had bobcat or something. I had to go with what they had. And wolves be expensive. And the thing is, I don't have a problem with it ethically, no. I don't. It's just, to me, it's not wrong or bad or sinful or waste of animal. We don't eat predators because they taste fucking terrible, except for bears. Those are tasty if you can get one. But, they don't taste good. That's why, they do it to shame or horrify or shock the rest of us. If you've ever seen those videos of people that don't like fur, will show you a carcass out in the woods with, just the main parts of the fur gone. That's why they taste fucking terrible, and they leave them there, and then something else eats them. It's not ideal, but I don't want to get into a semantics argument over whether it was better to have lived wild and died from a clean shot, or whether it was better to have grown up on a fur farm. I don't want to get into an ethics debate, because then we're going to get into an interesting debate, and I will take you there about when's the last time you had chicken or beef or anything else. I will take you there. And I told him I don't have a problem. He gets it for me. He will have it, and he's been after me for a while, so it feels like he's drawing me towards, and it's gonna piss so many people off, the shamanistic side that Odin has, the magical path worker that Odin has. And we all get our own version of that. As far as I can tell, we all get our own version of that. I at least have rabbit pelt in the house that is on Loki's altar, and that is Loki's rabbit pelt. And there is a rabbit pelt in there, and we kind of call it, how we have magical north, which isn't really north. It's magical wolf pelt. It's rabbit fur. It's magical wolf pelt. That's the best I can do. But it's kind of interesting as I work with him. The more that I will relax into something and think about the ethics of it, the broader the path. Because if you don't oppose using things, um, you have a broader magical path to work from. And, you don't have to police other people either. I don't have to worry about if other people are using fur, animal parts, or anything else. 1 second, please. These allergies. I'm sorry, guys. And I don't have to police the way anybody else works with them either. I've seen everything from vegans who offer vegan offerings and have them accepted, to people that use horse blood, and the gods seem fine with all of them. It's not a you must do it this way or that way, or the gods will punish you or ignore you or something. Whatever is good for you ethically, that's what they care about. If you're fine with horse blood and you will eat a horse, great, do it. It's traditional offering to the old man. If that would make you faint and you can offer, not only, but you only feel comfortable offering berries or fruits or whatever, do that. It's fine. The old man is not picky. He will eat whatever the hell he can get a hold of. I know there's this one website out there that's like, you can offer him only the nicest of and richest of foods. He is right there when the pizza comes in. Trust me. Is this an ancient Nordic offering? Oh, hell no. Nor is coffee or Pop-Tarts. But there are always Nordic gods like, those are ancient Nordic foods. No, they're not. Coffee's not even Norse. Yes, it is. So, they'll get into anything, and they'll take whatever offerings you'll cheerfully give them. We have all those crow feathers that I found a couple years ago in the house yet. And we have the rabbit furs. And if I hadn't been going through a crazy vegan phase, but hindsight's 2020, we would have at least a wolf kachina. That I regret not having, but like I said, hindsight's 2020. So everyone was kind of poking me to talk about it, because I don't know, maybe it's timely for one of you, maybe you feel on the fence. And, I don't speak for the gods, but as far as I know, with the old man, he'll work with you. He doesn't care if you're going to offer, like I said, a horse, or you're going to offer vegetables. He really doesn't care, because he covers it all. He's a god of fertility and farming, too. Something, something, last sheaf of wheat, something, something. I can't really remember, but I know he is tied to agriculture as well. It's just we mainly think of war first. So, it's just, it felt maybe timely for one of you. Don't worry, don't stress. There's no such thing as right or wrong offerings, as long as you're not doing it in a disrespectful way. If you join a group, then yeah, they're going to have a whole list of regulations out the wazoo of what you can and can't offer. But if you are doing it on your own and they seem to be happy, don't worry about it. So if you ever do see wolf or bear or anything behind me that are real animals, you know why, because he managed to do it. And this is Odin. He has a wonderful sense of humor. I told him I know what I would like. I would like that bear. Did I mention it this attempt? I don't know. There's a bear at the tax office. Such soft fur. And they do what I'd really like to get them, if I got them anything, if I was going to get a poor animal. They have soft mounts. Have you seen soft mount taxidermy yet? This stuff is fucking beautiful. It is beautiful. It's done really well. Let me take a drink here before I cough on you. Sorry, guys. I was burning my lord incense, and I have a reaction to it. Um, they're beautiful soft mounts, and it's a stuffed animal only. It's a taxidermy stuff. It's not, plush stuff. They're beautiful. You wouldn't know the difference between this and the living animal if they're done right. If they're not, they're me Morphy, but if they're done right, they look beautiful. There was like a year or so ago, I was gonna get Loki a fox, and that thing just looked high as fuck. So he never did get the fox, but that poor thing, it looked high as fuck and it looked mangy. I was like, yeah, I could afford that, but that's what I could afford, so we're not getting that. But if we ever do get any fur in the house, I don't have an issue with it. But Odin's kind of like pushing from behind, like you really have to talk about this. That's one thing 2020 has taught me. Given everything that's happened this year and all the craziness going on online and in the real world and everything else, whether or not people use fur is like the last issue I have on my mind. I don't care how people vote or who they love, just stop policing each other. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Keep your fingers crossed. I know one of these times I've had cameras all my life. One of these times I'm going to press on this camera a little too hard and it's going to break and we won't have one. But think good thoughts. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.